we got rid of the point system, so all that stuff we just rounded up. That's all we did. Which was all discussed then. I mean, I don't remember detail for detail, but we discussed it. Hi, Janice.
Good evening, how you doing? Good to see you again.
Nice
Thanks
to
for
see
coming
you.
in advance. Thanks for coming.
Glad you could make it.
John, Sandy was showing me her petition.
Who?
It's Sandy. She said it only says 10 signatures.
No, they need 100.
Okay.
You got the
That's-
wrong petition.
regularly school board meeting for the Aliquippa School District Board of Directors on February 17th, 2021 is now called to order. Please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic which stands one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Mrs. Pugh, may we have the roll call, please?
Miss Tori Durham Flanagan.
Here.
Where's she at?
She's on the phone too.
She's on the phone also.
Mrs. Tina Price Jeans. Mrs. Janice Kane.
Present.
Mrs. Nicole Bible.
Here.
Miss Catherine Kalalala.
Here.
Mrs. Stephanie Mason.
Here.
Miss Sandra Gill.
Here.
Mr. Ezra Lowe.
Here.
And Mrs. Larita Stewart.
Here. All right.
Okay.
Any sunshine? Okay, go ahead.
Nothing to report under the sunshine law, but I do want to make mention again, Mrs. Dorn Flanagan, Mr. Lowe, and Mrs. Mason are all participating via phone this evening, and also Mr. and Mrs. Martin are here to live stream our meeting for the first time, so they're up top there. Our presenter this evening is Dr. Guzzi to give us an update on special services. Dr. Guzzi?
Hello. Whenever I found out that I was going to present to the board, I tried to figure something out to talk about that would be relevant and small, because student services is a very large part of our school, part of any school. So I thought it would be a good idea to go over the English as a Second Language program.
There is a handout at your desk. One sheet.
I was afraid about the germs.
Yeah.
About this.
He's going to talk in a minute.
Okay.
Anyhow, thank you. All right, so English as a second language is important to address with the board because we've had a growth in how many students need this service in our school districts. In your packet, there's a one-page handout about this service. Whenever students enroll in our school, they're given a home language survey. And on that survey, as part of the enrollment packet, that's when they will mark down whether English is their second language or first language. Whenever they mark down that English is their second language, the next thing that happens is we put it into a protocol where they are tested for services. Now, they either get tested for services in step 2, or we seek records from other school districts, depending on whether they've ever been in school in the United States or not. So if we can't get records from other schools, we have to do a screen test through the DRC program to find out where the student scores on the 4 main domains for language skills, which are listening, reading, speaking, and writing. Now, the students then, whenever they finish the score, it comes out 1 to 6 in each area. 1 being the student doesn't have that skill yet at all, and 6 being they're completely proficient. So what happens after that is the intermediate unit helps us assign time for them to have English as a second language services. Now the little chart that I have on your paper shows from 2017 to 2021, and 21 is the projected numbers because we're in the middle of this testing right now. That's how many students in Aliquippa School District took the WIDA, which is the state assessment for students with English as a second language, to reassess those 4 domains and see how much growth we have. In 17, we had 4 students. In 18, we had 7 students. In 2019, we had 4 students. In 2020, we had 19 students. And this year, we're projected for 29 students. So it's important to note that we are on an upward slant as far as how many students need this service. I've been doing a lot of professional development, working with the IU, figuring out how this program is supposed to be run. So a couple of really important notes that I find myself reiterating with teachers on a daily basis is that English as a second language students have to learn in the general education setting to the maximum extent possible. It's a pretty tall order sometimes because many of our students are coming in from other countries, and they may be in 10th or 11th grade, so that means that they go into a biology course, for example. So it's really something that we need to seek more training for our teachers, and we've been talking today, I was actually upstairs today talking to high school teachers about this very thing. So something we're going to need and something we're working on is more training for our general education staff. Because in the past, when they're
What grade do we start that?
for Spanish speaking, like second language, I believe that's 9th grade. Is that the program?
What was the
Spanish
question?
classes?
I didn't hear what the question.
Spanish is 9th grade.
Well, it's a high school class.
Oh, okay. What was the question?
When they start taking Spanish? They can start in 8th grade.
Oh, in what grade?
9th.
Okay, you ready? Should I do it before? I guess you have to do it. You ready? All right.
The Aliquippa Board of Directors welcomes residents of the school district and commends you for attending the meeting this evening. We also gladly invite your comments and questions. At this time, local residents who would like to address the board will be invited to approach the podium. You will be asked to state your name and address and may speak for up to 3 minutes. This public participation session is normally limited to about 30 minutes. Prior to adjournment at the end of the meeting, residents will be offered another opportunity to pose questions on items that pertain to the school district. These comments will likewise be limited to 3 minutes. The board may respond immediately to general questions or comments if appropriate, but will often instruct the superintendent, the business administrator, or the solicitor to do further research and report back to the board or the resident. If you have specific questions, the board will try its best to respond either at the meeting or shortly thereafter. The board wants to ensure that it is fully informed before responding. So if your questions are not addressed immediately, this does not indicate a lack of interest on the board's part. Finally, to protect rights to privacy, the board cannot respond to complaints or comments about specific individuals, employees, or students in a public session. Once again, at this time, local residents who would like to address the board will be invited to approach the podium.
My name is Rakia Campbell. I live at 215 7th Avenue. I guess my concern is kids going back to school. I have a 7th grader who does not want to do school anymore because he says he hasn't learned anything, he's not retaining anything at all. So my struggle is getting him to get up every day. I'm a single parent. I work 2 jobs, so it's kind of hard for me to get up in the morning and make sure he's like up to get on the computer. That's what he told me. He don't see no need for him to go to school because he's not learning anything.
Well, thank you. This evening, we do have a motion on the agenda to bring the students back March 1st at the elementary school and March 15th at the junior, senior high school.
Can you hear?
I move.
Okay.
I was just commenting on the parent speaker, Mr. Lowe.
Oh, okay, all right.
My name is Nadine Anderson. I live at 313 Washington Street. I have several concerns. When and if school starts, do you have a start date? What type of systems would our kids be going into? Will they go back to their last classroom to see what they're going to be doing and what their teachers will be school starts the first session, will you have like 2 days a week for so many students, skip a day, 2 days a week for the other students? How many students will you have in each classroom? Will they be spaced 6 feet apart? Will they be wearing protective coverings? Is that provided through the school or the parents? Will there be hand sanitizers in the school? When it's time for the kids to, say like, exchange classes, will the kids go to different classes, or will they stay in one class, or will the teachers switch classes? So they won't be a lot of congestion in the hallway. When it's time for the kids to have lunch, will they be congregating in the cafeteria, or will they set up tables outside of each classroom and the cafeteria workers drop their lunches off so there's not a bunch of kids at one time congregating? When the kids come to school, say if the kid is sick, what will you do? Will they go directly to the nurse's station, or will they be isolated? And the school bus, will the school bus pick the kids up in the designation, different parts of the city? Will we still have, will there be aides on the bus so the kids will be social distance? Or will the bus driver tell the kids, sit every other seat? Will there be aides on the bus? At the bus stop, will they be crossing guards like we had last year? And if there is, who is to contact those same crossing guards to make sure our kids are safe on each corner, on the different corners that we have? Okay, in order for the kids to get caught up on their schoolwork, because I know this has been a struggle for a lot of kids, and would it be possible to have like summer school for the kids who want to come to summer school? To say like have refresher courses to get caught up, to get them ready for their next grade so they won't be stressed more than what they already are. And say the kids who say like are in, is it 6th grade going to 7th grade, from the elementary school into the junior high setting. That's a big culture shock for some of the kids. And what we need to do as a school is to have someone from the junior high contact, or maybe the parents, we can all set up to have someone to get these kids ready for this new venture in their life. Because since the school was already interrupted by this COVID virus, and the kids were struggling, not all, but some, we need to get them ready for the junior high culture, because it's a different ball game, what is to be expected of them, what they can and can't do. And as a community and as a school, if we all work together, we can accomplish this, And this is just something, just a few things I have on my mind to discuss about school. And when school is going to start, do you have a start date? Will the parents be notified? They're going to start next week, or what they should do, or what the procedure is as far as getting them back into school?
Thank you, Mrs. Zinn. Yes, all that information will be released as soon as we are given permission to start school. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi, my name is Taria Tyler. I live at 305 7th Avenue. I just came up here because my kids are struggling. Even if they were in school, they didn't make straight A's, but they were good. I work 7 to 6 every day. Before I started this job, I was working at 3 a.m. I can't be at home watching my kids' every move to make sure they're doing their homework, to make sure they're doing their tests. It just is impossible. I'm not a teacher. If I was a teacher, I would have went to school for it. I didn't go to school for that because that's not my career. These parents, they go shopping, they go to bars or wherever they go, church, they go wherever, dinner, dates. It's just a mess. They can do all this, but these kids can't go back to school. You got kids playing outside, you got kids playing sports, you got a whole group of people in the basketball court right now with no mask and nothing on. Why can't these kids sit at home, in a classroom with masks, make sure they have gloves, sanitizer, anything in their book bags? The parents is responsible for it if they want to keep their kids safe. Take it to school with them. I'm struggling. My son got straight E's. He got 2 more years of school left. He should be in 11th grade right now. He failed once. That was my fault for moving from place to place. But now we're stable. I got stability and I got, support, but not support enough to help my kids get past this school year or next school year or whatever. These kids need to be in school, period. I see kids playing every day. I see teachers outside. I see people just doing normal stuff. COVID ain't going nowhere, period. It's not. But I cannot let my kids fail. Y'all are failing our kids. It seems like y'all don't care for real. It really seems like y'all don't care because Moon Township go to school 5 days a week.
4.
Well, 4. And 1 day virtual. Why can't they go to school 4 days a week, 1 day virtual? I have a problem with this. And I need it addressed today because my son has 2 more years. I don't want him to make it a 3. The 3rd year is 2. I'm trying to get my son out, not stay. Do you understand what I'm saying? I need my kid in school, period. My daughter is above water. She's struggling, but she's above. My son is drowning, like literally drowning. Straight E's. I seen Mr. Mason in the store. He told me to read it. I don't know. I said, I don't know either because I can't watch my son. He's 17. Yes, he got responsibilities, but right now it's like, Dewey, get up. Are you doing your work? Yes, Mom, doing my work. Call back, he's asleep. Dewey, get up. I'm up, Mom. Did you do your work? Yeah. When progress report come time, nothing's done. That's because I can't sit at home and watch my kid. I can't afford a tutor like most people can. I'm single, I struggle, I work from day to day to make it ends meet. If I wanted to quit my job, I would be homeless. I wouldn't have no food. I wouldn't have no clothes on my kids' back or no shelter over my head. I can't afford to quit. I need my kids to be in school. Not today, tomorrow, I need it like now. Because my son is drowning. And virtual is not for everybody. And it's not for my son. It's not for my daughter at all. And I'm just here today because I need some answers or some type of support to help my son pass the 10th grade. He should be in 11th. Now, the first time he failed, that was my fault. But this time he failed, it's y'all fault, not my kid. It's the school district. And I feel like Aliquippa School District just don't care. Because you got Moon Township and other schools that's going, and yes, COVID cases has arisen or rise or whatever, but they still going 4 days a week with no complaints to the teachers. And if it is, they obviously don't care because they're still coming to school to teach them kids. But Aliquippa is always sports, 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 sports. They playing football, they playing basketball, they getting on the bus for basketball, they doing this, they're around people. So why can't the kids come to school? I just need to know more answers about that. Because it's not fair for people, for single women or single dads that has to take care of kids or quit their jobs because they have to be teachers. I didn't go to school for that. I went to school to be a cosmetologist and a medical assistant, not to teach, because half of the stuff I don't even remember. I've been out of school a long time. I tell my kids, Siri, what's the answer to such and such? Google. Because I don't know. And if I don't know, guess what? The work ain't getting done because I don't know it. And they don't know it either. Virtual is not for everybody. My kids don't learn through virtual. They need a teacher in their face talking junk to them, telling them what to do. And that's just the bottom line. My kids need structure and a teacher that got a hard back, a long, strong back to deal with my kids. Because virtual ain't it. And that's all I have to say.
Thank you.
Okay, Taria.
Hello, my name is Taylor Simmons. I live at 601 Highland Avenue. I'm here today because I have a 4-year-old son. He'll be 5 next month, and he has not had an introduction to school yet. He's been in childcare. They've educated them as much as they could, but when the pandemic hit, also I'm a healthcare worker and a tax preparer. So I'm 26, when do I really have time to be my son's teacher? But the pandemic hit as soon as it was time for him to sign up for Head Start, his first introduction. Most kids go when they're 4 and they're 5. My son will be 5 in March. He's had 3, maybe 4 virtual teachers this year. My son will not sit in front of a computer to watch a Zoom meeting because he's 4. He will not sit there and listen to a teacher teach him class etiquette because they have not taught them anything on these Zooms. So the high school is being affected, and the elementary school is being affected, and the middle school is as well, but my son's in Head Start. So if my son doesn't get the proper introduction to school this year, next year he'll be 6. When August comes and they're gonna see if he's ready for kindergarten, my son won't be ready. So do I hold my son back? Is he supposed to be 6, 7 years old, graduating from kindergarten? How is that fair to my son? Like I said, I'm a healthcare worker. I've worked in this pandemic the entire time. I've saved lives, and I've comforted people as they've died. You know what I mean? We pay 1.5% in taxes to this city. For what? Everybody else's kids are going back to school. Their money is well spent to the city and the school district. What can we possibly do for these kids to get their education? And not just the education, but the foundation they need, because I graduated from Lincoln Park, but I started at Aliquippa Elementary, and there were teachers who set the foundation for me, like Miss Alexander and Miss Shepard and plenty others who were not just teachers. They were also large supporters for our parents. I can't tell you a time Miss Alexander didn't call my mom when I did not do my work and just inform her on what needed to be done. But a teacher sitting on the other side of a computer screen will not know that. Sending their assignments on Class Dojo, you will not know that. How do I motivate my 4-year-old to sit in front of a computer? And how do I know he'll be ready for kindergarten if he's never been introduced to school, he's never even walked the hallways of a school? How do I do that as a 26-year-old single mom with a 4 and a 3-year-old? How do I educate my children without the school system supporting me? I have not had support at all from the moment he turned 4. Like I said, the pandemic hit. There was no Head Start. There was no people coming to your home. There was no sending them out to school, none of that. So here we are again. He's had about 3, 4 teachers. I asked my son the other day, Major, are you ready for school? He said, Mom, am I gonna go to school with a whole bunch of babies? What is school like? All I can do is explain. And he's like, okay, I guess I'm ready. So I picked my son's lunches up on Friday. As the teacher hands me the lunches, she says, I'm sorry, but I don't think we're going back to school next Tuesday. Well, I had to disappoint my son because he was ready to go to school. It wasn't about going to school with his friends. He's ready to learn. Aliquippa School District is preventing him from learning. I live in Aliquippa. I've been here all my life. I don't plan on leaving unless I have to. But if it takes me taking my child out of Aliquippa School District to get an education, because I see Rochester in school, my nieces go to school 2 to 3 days a week, sometimes more, playing basketball. I see Ambridge, I see Moon, Baden Academy, you name it. Everybody but us. Like I said, we all pay our taxes in here. What are we paying our taxes for? I don't pay my taxes just to live in Aliquippa. I want to get the best from this city, and that means the best for my children. And right now, the best is for them to be in school, receiving an education. And I will continue to work in this healthcare field, and I guarantee you, it's scary, but it's not as scary as you think. Not enough to keep our kids home for a whole year. They have not seen these hallways in over a year. So it's getting a little out of hand, and I don't know what to do. I don't know how to motivate my 4-year-old, and I don't know how to prevent him from being a 7-year-old kindergarten graduate. How do I do that? That's all.
Thank you.
All right.
My name is India Owens, and I live at 200 Superior Avenue. And as the two young ladies stated before, when it comes to concerns about the kids going to school, I'm in the same boat. These kids being on a computer, these younger kids, they don't have the attention span as the older kids. And even if the older kids, they're struggling. So how are y'all to expect the younger kids to have attention span if the older kids are struggling? All these kids need to be in the classroom with teachers, as they just said. And from my experience with my daughter, we were having a lot of technical issues with the iPad, you know, having to do the work on the iPad and even having to sit in front of their teachers with the iPad, it dying, signal being lost, her not being able to log in, her being marked tardy because we can't get into the iPad. And I've had several letters for truancy for her not attending or being a part of school and we couldn't even log in. We were struggling with a lot of assignments. My daughter just turned 8. She's in 2nd grade. She's been out of school since November, December. I got no support. Every time I came up to the elementary, I wasn't being taken serious. I was being taken or taken as I had an attitude or I wasn't handling the situation properly because the way that I showed my concern, it wasn't, I guess, appropriate enough to be taken serious. And I just felt like the system, the way that it felt me, it felt my child as well, to the point where I had to remove her because she wasn't getting the proper education. She wasn't able to do or follow along with the assignments or to keep up. There were so many issues. I emailed for technical support. I didn't get out to that. When I came up to the school, they gave me a 2nd iPad. They wouldn't give me a 3rd because I had already had 2. It was out of my control. And you guys as the system, and I say you because whether it was one person, that one person stands and speak for the whole district. Y'all are all one. Whether I'm talking to each one of y'all individually, y'all are all one. So when one person fails to do what they're supposed to do or hold their title into helping these children, all y'all fail. All y'all fail because y'all all are supposed to be one and united to help these kids in our community. And as everyone else said, we feel like y'all are not. We feel like y'all are not taking it serious, and we can't stress it enough how important it is, or how ironic or how funny it is, or it's okay for kids to be out here playing sports, but yet it's not safe enough for these kids to be in a classroom. You got kids in different countries all year round in school, and we can't even maintain the simple time that we have in school because, what, COVID? Y'all still go out, y'all still go do what y'all do, y'all still interact with other people, and just like the young lady before me, I'm not a nurse or anything, but I'm an aide. I deal with older people, elderly people, sick people day in and day out, even to the point where my child is with me at work 24/7. And so you just have to take precautions and be safe. Yeah, it's a scary thing, but you can't not have these kids in school because of COVID, but yet have them on school grounds for sports. That doesn't make it make sense. It does not make sense, and it is not fair to any of these kids, especially the fact that my child is 8 and she has missed 3 to 4 months of school, and yet the system still found a way to send truancy letters for me. No one at that school helped address any of my issues. No one took me serious. How fair is that? How fair is that to my daughter? What, is she not supposed to go to 3rd grade because she didn't get the correct or the amount of grades that she was supposed to? That's not her fault. That ain't got nothing to do with her. She's supposed to be learning, and she wasn't being, I'm not holding the teachers accountable because they're following a guideline that the school system provides. So I'm not blaming her teacher, I'm not blaming the teachers, and I'm not really blaming anybody but the school district, y'all self, all of y'all and whoever else. Like, to the point where there was also an altercation. No one called me after the altercation that took place in the school with me and the other young lady. No one called me, said, hey, we apologize about that. She shouldn't have behaved that way. And if it would have got further, then I would have been in trouble for defending my daughter's education. How fair would that have been for me to get in trouble? Or fair to my daughter? Y'all looking like y'all don't know what I'm talking about because don't nobody know about the altercation.
We don't.
Exactly, no communication. None of y'all knew about the altercation that took place. The reason why it took 30+ days just to get the information I needed to send my baby to a different school because y'all failed her. Y'all wouldn't help me. Y'all wouldn't listen to me. How fair is that? My daughter ain't did no work since the beginning of November, and I had to stop her from going to school the first week of December because we wasn't getting nowhere. And I wasn't about to put that pressure on her, say, hey, you know, you might can't go to 3rd grade because you're going to fail 2nd grade because they're not helping us. That's not fair. So what are y'all answers? What are y'all going to do? Y'all need more votes? I'm going to vote. These kids need to go back to school. My daughter is no longer with PA, but we still live in this town, this community. It's supposed to be one Aliquippa, right? Where's the one Aliquippa? I don't see one Aliquippa. I see one big disaster in this community and ain't nobody doing nothing. And the little people like us with loud voices who are saying something, it don't seem like it's enough. How is our cries for our children not enough when yet it's one Aliquippa for sports? Where's the one Aliquippa for education? Y'all don't got no answers for that? Because I go out a whole lot more than say it in 3 minutes.
I'm sorry. This is a public participation session, and so at this point, the board is going to hear you.
And I appreciate that, thank you. So I apologize if I was out of line, but I'm just very upset, like it's come to this point. We cannot quit our jobs that's gonna help provide us, as such as us being single parents, single moms or single dads. How do y'all put that pressure on us for us to quit our jobs and become full-time teachers?
I do want to respond to you, though. I do. Because now I'm going to speak to you from the perspective of a teacher. I am a school teacher. And so I teach at the Amber School District, and yes, we have been back in school. And so with that, my charge, my cry is, if you can help, this year more than any other year, we as teachers need parents. And so it is not the expectation, and I'm speaking for me now, it is not my expectation to expect you as a parent to educate your kid. As a couple of you have said it, I too agree. I went to college to do that. I have perfected that skill. What I do expect is for that device to be on, and if that device is on, you have opened the window for me to do what I need to do as an educator. Outside of that, I don't know. I'm not speaking to your specific situation because I don't know it. I don't know whether your daughter's device is on or whether it's not on. I hear your frustration, but I need you all to know that as an educator, I don't sit on this side lightly. It is just as heavy for me because I am charged with educating kids. And so I need to be able to do that. I get where you all are. I respect it and I recognize it. I too believe you should be in school. I don't have an issue with that at all. But I'm telling you, until we get to that place where we actually come into these doors, help me, as you being parents, help me educate your kid.
And that's not a problem outside of the technical issues that a lot of parents were facing with the iPads. I respect that 1,000%, but in order for us to meet you on that end, the technical issues, That has to be answered. That has to be directed. That has to be taken care of. That wasn't taken care of the way that it should have been, obviously, because a lot of parents were still struggling with that, not just me.
I've heard from a few parents that, cable has changed at $9.95 or $99 to now $54.
But not everybody has that. Most people have actual internet.
Only because of the use, I guess, frequent use of the computer.
Yeah.
Or the
I don't know,
internet.
995.
Yeah, I just heard about that. They did it for the schools.
It was postponed.
So they postponed it.
Yeah, they increased for the.
Yeah, but I thought they wanted to make no moves like that, you know, because of COVID. I don't know, and I just wanted to know, was the school, was anyone in the
know that it's on the agenda?
school, or the
Can you
school's
let them know that
contacted
it's on the
parents?
agenda that we're coming back?
And
He told us not to.
just.
Can you say it
Yeah,
again?
my daughter, yeah.
I know it was postponed, I
Can you
went
say
back
it
because
again?
they tried to, they paused it because they said it was, they didn't wanna, you know how you increase, like, hand sanitizer went up from $2 to $8.
Yes.
So that's what they're battling about right now as far as that goes, but it was postponed in June 1st, along with 3 other things, but that in particular was postponed.
So are you saying, from my understanding, are you saying is that the delay and why there was no communication as far as technical issues?
No, ma'am, I don't know, I'm just talking answering about the why, she asked about the why, man.
Right, but that contributes to that.
And everything.
Right.
Then they'll contact you and tell you that, your cable, because of the high use of internet.
That's being
they go
used
up,
around.
but, you know,
Right.
I was just wondering if us, how it came about, I'm quite sure Comcast connected with the schools to make it this way. Is it something that we can do as far as contacting, Comcast as far as, or is it just something on across the table?
It's all around.
Oh, because I had a few people actually. they thought
Yeah,
it was
it's all around the
faster.
county, I mean, we can, like, I guess we gotta monitor, you can talk to, like, Rob Max, myself, and a few other ones that can deal with them as far as, like, let them know, like, hey, you increasing the price, but if the product ain't there, why you increasing the price?
Exactly.
So,
It's slower.
it's a lot of people who've been speaking out about it, a lot of us knew about it, so we've been kinda talking to people like Modern Lamb and things. So I think that's kinda why I paused, but come June 1st, we gotta be aware of it, because, I mean, even though school's over, it's still gonna be that increase through the summer, so. And then
Right.
if I maintain that through the start
So-
of the school year next year.
I do have a question. Did you escalate the situation with your daughter further up the chain? Did you only speak with the administration at the elementary? So you never had a chance to come talk to Dr. Carbone?
No, after the young lady, I don't want to talk badly about the situation, but pretty much it went from a general conversation. I kept asking for a month because I had seen where this was going. I said, you know what, I'm gonna just remove my daughter and take her to a different school district. This is not working. I don't want my daughter to fail. That's my fear. And if my fear came off wrong, I apologize about that, but yet I was attacked with words. Words were exchanged, and I didn't understand how me showing my concern came off as I'm just being disrespectful to the individual. It then escalated to me leaving and coming back because she still refused to give me what I needed to register my daughter for school. Then she called for people to come escort me. I went out. I was waiting for the information for somebody to come. I wasn't leaving without the information because I had a deadline because I wanted my daughter to start school in January, which she didn't start until yesterday because it took them over a month for me to get what I needed. So I wasn't able to start her in January. I had to wait until she just got started. Her first day of school was yesterday. She's no longer because the school system wasn't working with me. They weren't helping me the way that I needed them to, for me to help my daughter, for me to be.
November until yesterday?
Yes, ma'am.
She is not.
I turned the tablet in the first week of December because I tried. Even when they switched from it being just that, and then when they switched to the teachers being on there with the students, I tried. I gave that a week. It wasn't working. And I didn't want to not do anything to help her, with her schooling. So I just said the best decision for me would be to remove her. And then I had issues with that. And like I said, the altercation was to the point where she waited or asked for me to be removed to then come from behind the desk and try to come through the second door to attack me. Like, there was,
Excuse me, and I don't want you to think I am cutting you off because.
no,
I'm
I know
not,
you're not, but I was just trying to answer her,
and I
question
would
towards the
welcome-
situation.
I would like to welcome that conversation because I think it's more of a private conversation, so I would like to welcome that conversation with you perhaps at the close of this meeting, if
Okay.
you have time, okay?
Okay.
All right, thank you.
All right, thank you.
My name is Chandra Anderson. I live at 742 Franklin Avenue. My experience is a little different, and I just wanted to come up here. First of all, my heart goes out to everybody that's having issues. Like, I'm home 3 days a week. If y'all want me to talk to y'all kids and try to motivate them a little bit or help them with their homework, I'm available. My kids are not struggling. My second grader, she has distinguished honor roll. My senior, she has distinguished honor roll. My ninth grader, he flip-flops with his grades because he's just he's lazy and he doesn't want to get up to get on the live. So I argue with him all day, so his grades flip-flop. But that's just because he's lazy and he procrastinates. It's not because he can't do the work or sit in class. I just want to say that the staff at the elementary, awesome. I've had no issues. I've had no technical issues. I had a couple questions here or there. I called Karma. She answers my question or she finds me the answer. I talked to Ms. Danilo directly on the computer. She answers my question. There was a couple questions I had that she couldn't answer. I reached out to Dr. Carbone. The very next day, I left a message. The very next day, the letter came out explaining everything, which answered all my questions, and then he called me back, but I didn't really need him to call me back at that point because the letter had answered all the questions. But I've had no issues. All the teachers that I've had to deal with have been wonderful. They've helped in any kind of way that we asked. And I just want to commend them because some of them having just as many problems as we are with the computer. Like I help Ms. Danilo sometimes when she can't figure out, other teachers come in her room, administration come in there, Johnny on the spot if she have issues. Like I've had absolutely no issues this year. And 2 of my kids are excelling, and I just got to keep working on my son because that's just a whole different story. So that's all I wanted to say.
Thank you.
Okay.
Hi, Tammy Swager, 1617 Tyler Street. I am not going off on a tangent tonight. I still want the kids in school, but my daughter asked me to come to ask about softball. Are there coaches? Are there applicants? Is there going to be high school softball this year because she's having a stroke?
High school softball? Yes.
It's on the agenda.
There were none left, so I didn't know. Okay. That's mainly all I wanted to say. I mean, you guys heard my sob story, me crying and everything last week. So, like I said, I still want them in school, and Bryson needs to be, or he might not be here next year, and I'll be in jail. So, thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you. Is that it? Is it? Thank you all. All right, recommendation to approve the minutes for the January 13th and 20th, 2021 board meetings. Any questions on the motion? Second.
Ms. Gill.
All in favor?
Ms. Kane motion, Ms. Gill second.
All right, tax parcel purchases. Recommendation to approve the following tax parcels exonerating all prior taxes up to the 2019-2020 school year. Here we go. Fafana Abdullah to purchase 000 Green Street in the bid amount of $1,421. 000 Green Street in the bid amount of $867.70. And 000 Green Street in the bid amount of $901. Diane Nay to purchase 1438 Green Street in the bid amount of $1,687. Community Anchor Incorporated to purchase 1323 Tyler Street in the bid amount of $1,594. And Erica Reddick to purchase 423 Highland Avenue in the bid amount of $2,049.
Ms. Caldwell move,
Mrs.
Ms.
Caldwell.
Gill second. I'm sorry.
Any questions on the motion? All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Love.
Yes.
All right, finance,
February payments. Recommendation to approve Mrs. Debbie Engelman, Business Administrator, to pay any necessary bills during February 2021 with ratification at the March 17, 2021 board meeting.
Mrs. Colorado moves, Mrs. Kane seconds.
Yeah.
Any questions on the motion?
I couldn't hear it.
All right,
Okay, this is for Mrs. Engelman to pay the bills for February and with ratification in March 17th meeting.
Okay.
any other questions? All right, roll call.
Ms. Gill? Ms. Gill?
Yes.
Mrs. Bible?
Yes.
Mrs. Mason?
Yes.
Ms. Colorado?
Yes.
Mrs. Kane?
Yes.
Mrs. Dern Flanagan?
Take it off of mute.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, so is this for Julie?
This is for Debbie. To
Yeah,
pay,
okay, yeah,
pay any
yeah,
necessary
yes,
bills.
Yes, yes.
Mr. Lowe?
He said yes.
Yes, that was a yes.
Y'all let me know what this is. And Mrs. Stewart?
Yes. Education and technology,
Tina's not here.
Who's education?
all right, I'll do it. The instructional model, recommendation to approve a hybrid instructional model at the elementary school beginning Monday, March 1st, 2021, and at the junior senior high school beginning Monday, March 15th, 2021. This plan is subject to review and change as needed.
I move.
Mrs. Kane moved, I believe Mrs. Caldwell seconds.
Yes.
Any questions on the motion? All right, roll call.
Mrs. Bible?
Yes.
Mrs. Mason?
Yes.
Ms. Colorado?
Yes.
Mrs. Kane?
Yes.
Mrs. Dern Flanagan?
Yes.
Ms. Gill?
Sure, yes.
Mr. Lowe?
Yes.
And Mrs. Stewart?
Yes.
All
All
right.
right, a fiber upgrade, recommendation to approve an E-rate contract with Compute Technical Solutions, Incorporated for a 10 gigabyte fiber upgrade in all network wiring closets in the junior senior high school. The district's fair share and one-time cost is $1,687.50 for 2.5 years. That'll be April 1st, 2021 through and including September 30th, 2023. Mr. Lowe moves.
A second.
Mrs. Kane seconds. Any questions on the motion?
Yes.
Pete, can you tell us what that is?
Okay, this is a Category 2 under E-rate. And Category 2 addresses any hardware or software to bring internet to students. The cost for the project is $11,250, but Category 2, we only have to pay 15%, which is why we're paying $1,687.50.
So this is upgrading our, what we have?
Yeah, at the junior senior high school.
Why is it not?
this just being put on the agenda?
The contract, or I'm sorry, the bid proposals went out after January 1st, and you have to post them for 30 days. And today, when I did more research on that, is if it's approved tonight, all these contracts need to be signed, and it goes to all the different bidders or the people that get approved, and we have to file a form by March 25th, and from my understanding, that process can be lengthy. So it gives us a month to get all that taken care of.
So this proposed work had to be submitted through E-rates first, right?
Well, it was sent to the district, and the people that we have from Quest Tech that analyzed the bids, they said this was this was the top bid for this.
But they proposed to do this work when they submitted E-rates, correct?
Yes.
For this year?
Mhm.
So why are we just hearing about it right now? Why are we hearing about this upgrade and it's being put on us last minute? Because it's been a proposed upgrade for a while for them to put.
Well, everything over years has been getting upgraded throughout both buildings. The
So-
elementary school was,
My request is, from now on, when they propose upgrades through E-rate, we need to know what they're proposing ahead of time.
okay,
Why is it only at the junior, senior high?
it's already been done at the elementary school.
I'm sorry?
It's already been done at the elementary school.
Okay.
Yep. Any other questions on the motion? Roll call.
Mrs. Mason?
Yes.
Ms. Colala?
Yes.
Mrs. Kane?
Yes.
Mrs. Durham Flanagan?
Yes.
Ms. Gill?
Yes.
Mrs. Bible?
Yes.
Mr. Lowe?
Yes.
And Mrs. Stewart?
That's yes. All right. Recommendation to approve an E-rate contract with DQE Communications LLC for a 10 gigabyte fiber upgrade between the junior, senior high school and the elementary school. The district's fair share is $95 per month for 5 years, effective July 1, 2021 through and including June 30th, 2026.
I move.
Mrs. King moves. I believe Mrs. Gill seconds. Any questions on the motion?
What's the overall cost that this is proposed for?
Okay. This is category 1, which is monthly recurring fees like internet service. We have to pay 10%, so it's going to be $950 a month. We pay $95, but it's actually, we're upgrading. Currently, it's only 1 gigabyte, and we are paying $222.38. So we're actually getting more gigabyte, and we're saving $127 a month.
Aren't we currently in a consortium with the IU for internet?
Yes, but that internet comes straight to the high school, then it's our line that goes to the high school to the elementary school.
So this is just for us to feed to the elementary?
Yes.
Any other questions? Mrs. Gibbs? All right. Was that it? Did you have a question? I'm sorry.
no.
Okay, go ahead, roll call. Okay.
Ms. Colala?
Hold on, I'm sorry. I missed that. What did you say? I missed that.
Clean it out.
She thought it was her turn to read.
We have to vote.
Oh.
We have to vote.
It ain't her turn.
All right. You a step ahead.
Ms. Colala?
Yes.
Mrs. Kane?
Yes.
Mrs. Durham Flanagan?
Yes.
Ms. Gill?
Yes.
Mrs. Bible?
Yes.
Mrs. Mason?
Yes.
Mr. Lowe?
Yes.
And Mrs. Stewart?
Yes. All right, Ms. Gill?
Okay, track and field head coach. Okay, recommendation for Mr. Sherman McBride as the head track and field coach for a contract of 3 years, February 18th, 2021 through and including February 17th, 2024, at a salary of $5,900 for the 2021 season.
Okay.
Now, each season, subject to the completion of the season, subject to proration of salary in the event of a short season.
All right, and so that's just to approve, shouldn't it?
Yeah.
I'll second.
Who moved?
Calvin.
Any questions on the motion? This is for,
Yes, I got a question.
okay, this is, okay.
Mr. Lowe and Mrs. Mason, this was to approve Mr. McBride as track coach for 3 years. Go ahead, Mrs.
Your
Kim.
question?
Okay, we're gonna approve him for the next 3 years at 59. There's not gonna be any more increase?
There could be, it just says 5,900 for the 2021 season.
So
But
we're
the
gonna do this
contract is 3
every
years.
year.
For me?
So we're gonna come back I thought this was the reason why we give him a 3-year contract, so we'll have to keep voting every year.
I don't know what the reason was for a 3-year contract, other than the board wanted to give
Well,
spring
yeah, because
sports.
every year, only the spring coaches are the only ones that have to put in every year for their position, not basketball, not football. So we thought that going across the board, that all the sports, we get 3 years. So now you want to revisit this next year, is that what you're saying?
The
As far as
salary.
Are you talking about the salary?
The salary,
or
just the
you-
salary,
okay.
yeah.
The salary,
So are
yeah.
we stacking the salary, or are we doing it, is that what you're
Well,
asking?
that's what I'm trying to find out, because, when they got rid of the point system, and the years that he graduated, well, not graduated, but the years that he been the coach and, kept producing, he does go to state every year. They do qualify. So I'm just saying that,
He will get playoff money.
yeah,
this
yeah, that's
year.
another thing.
Yeah.
They
If there is-
don't get the,
That didn't happen last year because the season was canceled, but he did receive his salary last year.
no, I'm not talking about the salary.
But this coming year, he would, assuming they go WPIL, PIAA at Shippensburg, he would receive playoff pay.
But he hasn't done that in years, so this something new to start?
Yeah, that just
Yeah,
started. When we
that
got rid
just
of the point system, we put the playoff bonus.
They still get
Yeah.
paid bonuses.
Okay, but how long that's been, like 3 years?
When did we hire Mike?
I'm going to
3
say
years.
this is,
2018, so he's been here for 3
Yeah.
years, but they never got anything at the end of their season.
Who? Track.
Track.
That I don't know.
So if we did it for 3 years, they haven't gotten anything.
And you wouldn't you have to vote on his salary every year?
unless you,
Even though he has a contract, you would have to vote on his
if you
salary every
change
year?
it, yes.
But some contracts we're doing right now have the salary for 3 years, and this one here is just a
No, that
salary.
They're
just,
all-
it
they're all
just says for
2021 season.
2021.
That's what I'm saying. Some salaries are not like this.
They're all for the 2021 season.
All of them?
Yeah.
Okay. The ones we've done in the past too?
What I'm saying is you could probably revisit next year if you thought he deserved more, because you would have to vote on his salary anyway, right?
Yes.
So you could revisit that and give him what you thought.
Yeah, you're
A
right, we're
raise.
going to have to vote on the salary anyways. next
Yeah.
year.
You do?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Is that it? Any other questions on the motion?
Yeah, I just want to add, I brought this up about a year ago, about, this McBride's record and stuff, and I think in all fairness, he should get a raise, immediately because of his track record. A lot of times I was with him on them track meets and stuff, and a lot of times I've seen him come out of his own pocket, and then I would donate too. So I'm just trying to, in all fairness, the man got a phenomenal record. He's been there 17 years, and I just think we need to really, really consider giving this man a raise.
$5,900. That's what it's been the last 3 seasons, 2018 and 2020.
Well, can't you take him to 6,100?
And he's, never had a
I mean, we
contract,
could-
he's got a 3-year
I mean-
contract this time.
Yeah, we're giving everybody else raises, And some of the raises we've been giving out, we really don't have no proof of what they've been doing through the year. evaluation, that's what it is. But yet we awarded them raises. But this man's record speaks for itself.
So could you change the language and just vote on him and, salaries? Could you change the,
You mean just to
Are
vote
we
him
gonna
as the,
increase salary for all the other coaches too?
This year?
Because there's other coaches like Karma that we're approving that's been here for years too.
Yeah. The fall coaches were the same, unless assistant coaches changed, but the head coaches did not change.
That's what I'm saying. I mean, if we're gonna say give one more money, then why aren't we doing that for all the other coaches?
We are, they have, they've done it. It is.
All the other coaches have received raises except for Sherman?
The head coaches this past year did not receive an increase. It was the same as the previous season, or seasons.
No, he got $17.20 increase February 20th, 2019. That was brought him up to $5,900.
did you say $17?
He got $17.20. We voted.
When in 2018, in the fall, when we settled the teacher's contract, we got rid of the point system, we just rounded all those
Oh, you just rounded them
salaries
up, okay.
Yeah.
So I don't know if this is gonna be a bone of contention, but I don't know, should we just do approve
Just, do we
the
just
coach
vote
without
on
the
it, John,
salary?
and go from there?
Vote on it, see where it goes.
Okay. Just vote.
What's the motion?
To approve contract for 3 years at a salary of $5,900 for the 2021 season. Each season subject to the completion of the season and further subject to probation, like we have it.
So that was a motion and second?
Yeah, Ms. Colwell moved, Mrs. Kane second.
go ahead, what were you saying? I didn't hear you. Elder Lowe, I didn't hear you.
Oh, no, I was just saying I moved. I was trying to, move
okay.
the motion.
Okay, but this reads, as the head coach and field coach for a contract of 3 years, starting February 2021 through February 2024.
At a salary of $5,900 for the 2021 season.
Exactly. So you say you want to revisit this.
If you don't,
The language is not right, okay? Because you're giving a 3-year contract, but you're saying only for 2021.
That's the salary for
It's
that
$5.
season.
Right, exactly.
Okay.
Right, exactly. It just doesn't make sense.
so, but
So, I
if
mean,
you don't,
next
if you
year-
don't, if you table this now, then you can't vote on it till the March meeting.
What should it say, Mr. Salopek? I mean, is the language appropriate that's on there right now?
Yeah, that's the way we've done all the
Okay.
other ones. It's 5,900, and then it would stay the same for the next 2 years.
Well, it
No,
just says for the
that's not what
2020,
it-
it
that's
just
not what
says
it
for the
reads.
2021 season.
But that's
He
what
said
it's
unless
meant.
they-
It just
Yeah.
stays the same.
Okay, it mean one thing and saying you got to put it in writing, how
Okay.
you mean.
Well, then change it to, and subsequent years.
No,
No, she wants him to have a raise.
She wants him down, yeah.
What does she want to change it to?
Well, I don't know, y'all one gave them, how did y'all get 5,900?
That's
How did y'all
what-
give him a $17.20 raise in 2019?
That's when it was rounded up.
Okay, so y'all round him up to 5,900, but y'all gave his assistant $41.10.
It was,
Did they
everything
round
was,
it up?
everything was
They
just
just
rounded
rounded it
up.
up.
That don't make sense. He's the head coach, so why would he get more than the assistant? Or the assistant get more than him? This is what I'm saying.
Whatever you want to do.
It's just not right the way y'all just pull stuff out of the hat like that and just do it. You gotta do it across the board.
You could, if you don't mind me suggesting, you suggest approve the 3 years with a caveat after the first year to reopen it. As long as it's in the language, you can reopen it after a year to discuss your options. So just approve the 3 years, and then after that year, you look at it to give a raise or change it. But the language has to be recorded. So you approve 3 years, after a year, and the caveat states we can reopen it.
said that
and look
earlier.
for raises.
That's what we
You
said.
put that in the language, and the solid pack signs off on it, and you all agree to that. But you don't have to table it.
Right.
Here it comes, you just reopen it and then reestablish. If there's any back pay at that time, you go back and do
No,
that.
she wants him to have a raise this year. Yeah, that's
No,
what
no,
I
I
said.
didn't say give him your,
That's what I said. I
Oh,
said,
oh.
just vote on this.
Yeah.
And then you'll
Yeah, we're
revisit
gonna
his
vote on it,
salary
yeah.
next year anyway.
but just the way they got it in the language.
But what you're saying is you thought he should get more this year, right?
Right, for the 2021 year, right.
But what I'm saying to you is,
Because
if you don't
we
vote
get-
on this now, then you can't vote on it till March.
Oh, we gonna vote on it, we gonna vote on it. Let's vote. Okay. No, we didn't.
Not yet. Are we voting?
Roll call.
We just approved it.
Ms. Colorado?
Yes.
Mrs. King?
Yes?
Mrs. Durham Flanagan?
Yes.
Ms. Gill?
Yes.
Mrs. Bible?
Yes.
Mrs. Mason?
Yes.
Mr. Lowe?
Yes.
And Mrs. Stewart?
Yes.
Okay, move on.
Move on.
Okay, volleyball coach, grade 7 and 8. Recommendation for Miss Carmen Jackson as volleyball coach, grade 7 and 8, at a salary of $1,300 for the 2021 season, subject to the completion of the season, and further subject to both grant of salary in the event of a short season.
I second.
Any questions on the motion?
Motion.
Miss, for Karma Jackson to be volleyball coach, grades 7 and 8 for the 2021 season.
Oh, okay.
All right. Ready?
Baseball.
Hold
Hold
on.
on, we gotta vote.
Roll- We gotta vote.
We didn't vote.
All right, roll call.
Mrs. King?
Yes?
Ms. Durham Flanagan?
Yes.
Ms. Gill?
Yes.
Mrs. Bible?
Yes.
Mrs. Mason?
I think it hung up.
Did we lose it?
Right?
Mrs. Mason?
I think it's just,
Okay.
Hello.
Ms.
Okay,
Colorado?
I don't know what happened.
Yes.
Hold on. Let me get Mrs. Mason. You're my witness, I didn't even touch it. Hello, I'm gonna merge you back in, okay?
Does she have to get her vote?
Okay, can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay.
did she hear you?
Yeah, Mrs. Mason, you can hear us, correct?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Okay.
Okay, we're doing roll call. You're up. Mrs. Mason?
Yes.
Okay, Ms. Colorado, I already got you. Mr. Lowe?
Yes.
And Ms. Stewart?
Yes.
You can go now. Okay. Baseball head coach, Mrs. Duane. Recommendation, Mr. Daniel Sunstein as the head baseball coach for a contract
Everybody
of
talk.
3 years, February 18, 2021 through and including February 17, 2024 at a salary of $3,000.
We can't hear anything, can you?
For the
Yeah, we're talking about approving a baseball coach.
season, subject to the
Oh, okay, I couldn't hear you. Who's reading it?
season,
Then you're talking to Mike.
of salary in the event of a
Miss Gill was
short
reading.
season.
Could you please? Come on.
I move.
I second.
Who moved? Mrs. Kane?
Ms. Case, yes.
And who's second?
Ms. Gill?
Any questions on the motion?
This is for the baseball coach, Mr. Sonsini. Yeah, we'll then do the call first.
Roll call.
All right. Ms. Durham Flanagan?
Yes.
Ms. Gill?
Yes.
Mrs. Bible?
Yes.
Mrs. Mason?
Yes.
Ms. Colorado?
Yes.
Mrs. Kane?
Yes?
Mr. Lowe?
Yes.
And Mrs. Stewart.
Yes.
I'd like to make one. Mr. Sonsini is here this evening. Congratulations.
I just want to say welcome, first of all, and I hope that you have a great season. It does sadden me to see that Coach Bible is no longer here. He did an outstanding job, and I hope that you'll bring forth the same care that he had for the program and kids.
I appreciate that. I'm very excited and can't wait to get started. Thank you all for the opportunity.
All right.
Softball.
Okay, softball head coach, new item. Recommendation, Ms. Shania Walker as the head softball coach for a contract of 3 years, February 18, 2021 through and including February 17, 2024, at a salary of $3,200 for the 2021 season. Each season subject to the completion of the season and further subject to proration of salary in the event of a shortened season.
I know.
I second.
Got it? All right. Any questions on the motion?
Softball coach.
She's here too.
Okay. Roll call?
Ms. Gill? Of course, yes. Ms. Bible? Yes. Mrs. Mason?
Yes.
Ms. Colala?
Yes.
Mrs. Kane?
Yes.
Mrs. Durham Flanagan?
Yes.
Mr. Lowe?
Yes.
And Mrs. Stewart?
Yes.
My Lord.
Miss Walker's here this evening. Congratulations.
Okay.
Okay, personnel. Recommendation to recall, based on seniority, 2 furloughed AESPA staff members to work the 3 to 11 p.m. shifts at the elementary school effective Wednesday, February 24th, 2021, and 2 more furloughed AESPA staff members to work the 3 to 11 shift at the junior-senior high school effective Wednesday, March 10th.
I know.
Second.
All right, any questions on the motion? Okay, roll call.
Mrs. Bible? Yes. Mrs. Mason?
Yes.
Ms. Colala?
Yes.
Mrs. Kane?
Yes.
Mrs. Durham Flanagan?
Yes.
Ms. Gill?
Yes.
Mr. Lowe?
Yes.
And Mrs. Stewart?
Yes. All right, recommendation to ratify the following employees' FMLA intermittent leave for 60 days. A junior, senior high school professional employee within the 1-year period, February 3rd, 2021 through February 2nd, 2022. A junior, senior high professional employee within the 1-year period, January 28th, 2021 through January 27th, 2022. And a junior, senior high school professional employee within the 1-year period, February 8th, 2021 through February 7th, 2022.
I know.
A second.
Mrs. Cololo moves. Mrs. Kane second. This is all in favor? Okay, any, go ahead. Okay, yeah, yeah. Any questions on the motion?
I have a question.
Okay.
With the truck, FMLA, do we have teachers to cover these? Or we?
As of right now, yes. We're
Okay,
covered.
and this is without pay, correct?
Yes.
I'm sorry, I actually do have a question. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Well, hold on a moment, please. Hold on, Mrs.
Okay,
Mason.
if
Will
they're
you-
taking this leave for whatever reason, is it gonna affect them coming, how they come back, or they just come right back?
It's intermittent. They can take the days as they need them. There's actually for health reasons. There's actually 2 that are still working right now. It's just, they put in their paperwork ahead of time.
Okay.
Okay, go ahead, Mrs. Mason.
You know what, never mind, I answered my question when she just said.
Okay.
Okay, all in favor? Aye. Opposed? Okay, building and grounds.
Recommendation to purchase 2 milk coolers at the ES from the cafeteria fund balance from Trimark at the following prices. 1 12-crate milk cooler at $2,840. 1 8-crate milk cooler at $2,448.
I'll second. Any questions on the motion?
Yeah, I really didn't hear that.
Okay. We need 2 new milk coolers at the elementary school. 1 12-crate one and 1 8-crate one. You weren't here last week. One has electrical issues and the other one is leaking. And we have money in the cafeteria fund balance to pay for these, so.
All right, okay.
Okay, all right, all in favor? Opposed? All right, let's go ahead. There's no capital projects. All right,
I do need an executive session for personnel, no action to be taken.
all right.
I have one.
Okay, let me, go ahead, I'm sorry.
If you don't mind, before you go, community engagement committee, what those parents that want to be involved, some
Yeah.
students to be involved. We haven't been involved before because of, this student who volunteers, like, within the community, and so we have a base point for Zoom. But I would like to get more parents, students, if you'd like to be a part of it, let me know, let the school know. That way we can stay in contact, we have that connection for parents and, students. Is that okay? All right.
Okay, all right. Motion to.
Mr. Talbot,
Oh, I'm
please.
sorry.
Yeah, I think we should all want to recognize Mr. Martin for the wonderful award he was given in front of.
Stand up, Mr. Martin.
Yes. Yes. All right, want a motion to adjourn?
Yes.
All right, motion to adjourn. I move.
Second.
All in favor? All in favor.